Talk about act to follow. And this is the way I must come to tell you about the night of the rainstorm. She was an ordinary woman, a woman I'd known only from the way she looked at me when you were not looking. Her room was ordinary. She asked if I would come in. I was walking back from Woodstock. You'd walked away from me. Santana was nothing but a broken guitar string. I needed everything, like a little boy. I had one hand in my pocket, one hand on her steering wheel, and one hand in my other pocket. She stopped, so I got in. Her car was an ordinary car, a Plymouth or Dodge or 65 Ford, I don't know. The back seat is what I remember. It was full of sweet-smelling pool water, blue water. I wanted to drown in the smell of lilac that night, but her tub had the claws of a lion, and I was afraid. How then, tell me, can I describe the diameter of bubbles without revealing the secrets of such blue waters? Merely to say it was a season for giving flowers is not enough. There was a storm. It was raining as it hadn't rained before. I was walking back from Woodstock. She stopped. I got inside. I turned her radio on. It wasn't loud. The splash of blue water in a season for giving flowers. Sometimes April is a cruel month, but it wasn't that night. It was raining, and she stopped for me. So, to this ordinary woman whom I could never love, I gave the most beautiful bunch of wildflowers. Her room was an ordinary room. Her cat, ordinary, never spoke to me. The back seat, as I remember, warm and blue, she invited me in. I'd known her only from the way she stared at me when you were not looking. I was walking back from Woodstock. You'd walked away. It was raining. She was going my way. She stopped. Her car was ordinary. I got in. Warm blue water, scented oil, candles, flowers placed to float as lilies on a pond, prince or frog, not for me to decide. I needed a ride. It was raining. If I cannot remember a thing she said that evening, isn't it like she never said a thing that evening? If I cannot remember the touch of her skin, isn't it like I never touched her at all? I was walking back from Woodstock. I needed a ride. I needed to look into her ordinary eyes so I could see her ordinary face, but I saw nothing ordinary at all. I was afraid. It was a fast car. Her tub had the claws of a lion. I was walking along a road looking for Neil Cassidy and Jack Kerouac, writing my poems like John Berryman, sleeping in the woods until I no longer wanted to be Henry David Thoreau. But you know what, Sarah? In that room, that night, in that car, that ride, in the back seat, sweet lilac blue, I could only think of you, lying asleep with your back to me, in our ordinary bed, in our ordinary room. That poem is called Walking Back from Woodstock. Tonight I'm reading some older pieces for the most part in celebration of the 25th anniversary of the Meacham Writers' Workshop. The things they carried. Crisco died with his soldier in his hand. That's right. He was taking a piss, and Charlie picked him off long distance. The morning was one of those mornings when everyone felt safe as we could feel in the bush. It was a scene perhaps from a war movie, a platoon of 18 boys in loose rank walking towards daybreak. The report we got said the area ain't hot. So we relaxed, walked slow, talked low about girls back home. Crisco's girl was Susan, a buxom blonde he said he met somewhere in California. Said she was prettier than the picture he carried like a god in his shirt pocket. Said they were going to be married when his tour was over. It was a good day to be outside. There was a breeze. We were stepping in from the shade into the bright sunlight. We'd just smoked a joint, shoelaced with heroin. We were floating on seasick waves, and the horse was starting to kick. We were not paying attention. The birds were singing. The air smelled fresh. The sky was chamber music and was clear. It was not a morning for war movies. We were walking in loose rank, laughing, talking about girls back home. We were drifting. It was not hot. There was a breeze. The banyan trees were movie props of slow dancing leaves. The joint was good. The horse was kicking. We were not paying attention. We were joking and talking about girls. Crisco was going to be married. The sky was chamber music and was clear. The birds were singing. It wasn't hot. There was a breeze. It was a good day for a white wedding, and all the best men were standing right there. Two blue glasses. Two holes in the knees of a pair of Levi's, folded on a shelf, the only thing of yours left in these two rented bedrooms. Two dents in a pillow, Saturday morning at the matinee, a shade tree in the afternoon, two blue glasses. On a coffee table, two paper plates, two unmatched sets of silver, two dents in a morning pillow. Wee hours of rain and clouds that cover the moon. Soon is the word I've come to believe in lately as I set my shoes out in pairs, trying to pair my life with yours, with the spaces spaced too far apart. Too much room in this walk-in closet. Nothing but shirts and suits I do not want to wear anymore. Somewhere is a long way from anywhere, and everywhere is a long way from Texas. Two cactus green candles, the two of us looking out at the city while she sleeps, but not in her own bedroom. Too many angels have seen us laughing for me not to believe. Fall is a long way from spring. Everything is paired. Life is a balance. And you, my love, tonight is somewhere walking on a trapeze. Two silhouettes on a storefront cafe sign. Two sandwiches left partly eaten in a coffee house. Two bottles of Spanish beer. Two sides of an unmade bed. Two dents in a pillow. An afternoon of nothing but rain. It's too damn hot in here. I think I'll go outside and count fucking pairs of trees. Two oaks, two pines, two maple leaf rags, two chinaberries, two telephone poles, two dogwoods, two fig trees. No, I think I'll count the spaces in between Western movies and ball games, two cowboys, two pairs of boots, a ball and a bat, two catching mitts, playing catch ball at MacArthur Park. Someone left our cake out in the rain. It was raining, it's still raining, and we were running, me in cutoff jeans and you wearing an Air Force shirt years too big, the two of us lost in a bed of wet daisies. Two red apples, a pear, a fruit basket. I think it's time to count the eggs. Time to rob a grocery store, maybe get robbed by one. Time to count the sheets one more time. Two pillows, two cases, two dents in the morning, two dimes, a nickel, two quarters, a penny, 25, 26, two loads of clothes. Sometimes I wish I were an astronaut, Neil Armstrong, no, Neil Young, sitting on a barroom stool singing Cinnamon Girl, and me slow dancing on the moon. But most days around here find me walking downtown. The sky is much too clear. This moon does have an atmosphere. I don't want to walk. I want to fly. Too many angels have lost their wings trying to carry me. I want to fly like a helicopter, like a chopper hovering up and out of this counting room, counting the colors of chairs, 2 greens, 2 cherries, 2 blues, and this one is too damn yellow for me to sit in tonight. Tonight, I want to sit outside and write a love letter. Dear Tupelo, my honey, I love you, sincerely, me. I want to type it in big letters and mail it to one of those big buildings downtown like a big billboard sign on the LA freeway. I want it to fly like a July flag on Independence Day. I want it to flash like a neon sign at 3 a.m. I want it to be seen for miles and miles and miles away from me in this balcony. It's too cold out here. It's too hot in there. 3 bears and a bowl of wheat. I feel like Baby Bear without a spoon. Too many Monday mornings without you. I've dined in the private trains of my thought. Too few promises we made not to keep every one of them. In one envelope, no stamp, no destination, no postage due. 2 blue glasses spinning, cerulean blue. Sometimes there's magic in the colors we choose to keep and the ones we choose to drop. I see you, I see me, falling 17 stories I never told anyone. 2 blue glasses, too much concrete makes a small town a city. Too slow to fall, looking for speed, spin, tumble, now tumble and spin into too few conversations we've had to forget a single word. 2 Sagittarians, a spinning blue rainy night, 2 wild horses dancing on the edge of the moon, nothing but rocks and dust, the 2 of us falling blue spin, 13 stories I never told anyone. 2 blue glasses dropped. Too many reasons to break into blue shards. Too much concrete makes a small town a city. Too many nights we spent spinning. 2 Sagittarians, 1 spinning blue fall, too far apart to shatter. Too much love on Sullivan Street tonight. Tonight, I do not want to write anymore. I want to sleep in the Queen's bed with you, my sweet angel. I want to love you like science, like geography, like a foreign language in a foreign country on a foreign afternoon in the south of France. I want to dance with you like a romance novel, but I cannot bring myself to read. I need a drink. I do not want to think about anything but you. Too many nights I've seen them and heard them talking. Too many angels heard you lie, my love. Heard you say good morning, good evening, and goodbye. Too many angels out there tonight on this balcony watching this catcher run through his own field of rye. Too many questions, too many ways to answer wrong, to ever get it right. Too slow to fall, a cerulean blue spin, 11 stories I never told anyone. In which language do I keep silent? I know that if a number is raised to the first power, the exponent is usually not written. I know that the absolute value of a number is that number without its sign. Without a sign, there's no way to tell who I am. Today, I will not give any indications. I know that the angular velocity of your movement is too beautiful to name, and I've come to recognize you as a dancer in lines of my own poetry. It's a funny thing how books can be read upside down and maps get us most lost. I know this from experience. Lately, I find myself looking at maps, measuring the distance between cities. 1 inch equals 25 miles. 1/25 of 1 inch equals 1 mile. Small towns are represented as dots. I question the mathematics of it all. My whole numbers have become fractions on a November calendar. I've learned to count the parts of each square. I know what it's like to have nothing but time. The night I first saw you dance, I followed the softness of your steps across the floor, across the studio, every spin taken into consideration, every jump. I know the shortest distance between us is a straight line. I want to leap with you, but not tonight, because when I divide the time of day into the time I've known you, multiplied by the number of times you've crossed my mind lately, the answer is way too early to tell what I'm feeling. I know the wrong answer is not always wrong. Do you know how to tango? Would you teach me to ride music in wide open space? Would you teach me to dance to the unexplained, deliberate as the unexplored dances to the patterns of treasure maps? Would you teach me to close my eyes when I kiss? I know that the coefficient of a to the second power is 1. I know what it feels like to be alone in a room too many nights in a row. I know how to fly without wings. If you were a jet airplane traveling at 7.5 kilometers while gaining altitude at a constant rate, if you traveled between points 5.8 kilometers apart, what is the gain in altitude? I would figure it out and meet you at the vertex. I know the Pythagorean theorem. I know that some mornings my dreams lie to me to make me feel better. I laugh trying to figure out the ones I now have. I'm not saying I dream about you. I'm saying you're in my dreams, and most often I wake up falling. I know that the distance I fall equals 1/2 the times the acceleration times the time squared it takes me to fall. According to maps, my silence is 1 mile away from you in either direction. I know that speed equals distance divided by the time I sit here and wait. I know exactly how long it should take if I were to measure your gaze in either of the 2 languages I now speak. I light myself another cigarette. I don't say a thing. I ponder the velocity of silence. Thank you very much.